So, 2 times, can you pick a tank?
Yeah, I'm at it right now. I went and bought my Chaffee back. Now I gotta
Why
get my
would you
coolant
sell your Chaffee? It's such a good tank.
because I sucked in it.
I guess that might be one reason why.
Alright, let's get started. Alright, so, just to review the rules for everyone, um, no firing or moving around unless I say so. If I say to clear comms, I expect that you will clear comms immediately. If you have a question, feel free to type it in the in-game all chat, and I will address it at the next convenient stopping point. So I'd like us all to meet at H4.
Time to roll out.
You say Hotel 4, correct?
Yes, Hotel 4.
Thank you.
Okay, so spotting enemies without being spotted is a key component to late tank gameplay, medium tank gameplay, tank destroyer gameplay, and it is also a factor in heavy tank gameplay, though less so than the other three. So it's very important to be able to spot and fire at enemies without you yourself being spotted. So, without getting too into the nitty-gritty of the game mechanics around spotting, like the actual calculations and how whether or not you're spotted is calculated, each tank has a specific camouflage rating and a specific spotting distance that are sort of intrinsic to the tank. These can be modified with equipment and crew skills, but they are mostly unchangeable. When you encounter another tank in combat, before either of you spot each other, your spotting distance sort of fights with their camouflage rating. If your spotting distance wins, then you spot the enemy, otherwise the enemy remains unspotted. And their spotting distance does the same thing against your camouflage rating. However, in battle, it's possible to use bushes and foliage to increase your camouflage rating. So to get into how bushes work, if one moves to within 15 meters of a bush, you'll be able to spot through the bush. Alright, so we've got some nice bushes in this area. I'm going to have everyone find their own little bush, and I want you to just move up to the bush, go into sniper view, and then if you approach the bush, it should become transparent, and then if you back away from the bush, then you shouldn't be able to see through it anymore. So just try that out a few times. So, does anyone have any questions so far? Alright, then let's continue on. So, as you all saw, when you were within 15 meters of the bush, you were able to spot through it. If you're further away than 15 meters, then the bush will actually break the line of sight between you and any enemy tanks that are on the other side of the bush. However, if you are firing while within 15 meters of a bush, it will negate any camouflage bonus that that bush provides. So, now we need to figure out a method to fire from concealment without being spotted. It turns out this is actually relatively simple. In order to fire from a bush position without being spotted, all you need to do is back up to 15 meters away from the bush or more, and then you'll be able to fire through the bush without being spotted. So, as you all just saw, using sniper mode, you can tell when you are 15 meters away from the bush. Now, when in this position, you won't actually be able to see the enemy tanks that you're firing at. However, any spotted enemy tanks will still have their outlines visible to you if your reticle is over the tanks. So now we're going to get to the exercise portion of this training, unless there are any questions at the moment. So, does anyone have any questions? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Potato. Oh, I'm actually not certain about that. I will look into it and get back to you. I know that if you are more than 15 meters away from a bush when you drive by it will break line of sight.
Sorry.
Now, if you are, say, 14 and a half meters behind a bush so that you can see through it in sniper mode, a vehicle comes up, I see it, I spot it. If I back up just that, that half a meter or whatever, a meter, so I can no longer see through, but the enemy is still lit, and I can shoot them, and because I didn't shoot from behind the bush within the 15 meters, they still will not have seen me. Correct?
That's exactly right. And that's actually one of the ways that you can spot enemy targets and then fire upon them. So, just to reiterate what Panzer Bill said, if you are spotting in a bush, and you spot an enemy tank that is moving or stationary somewhere, and then you pull back from the bush so that it is opaque, you will still have a short time while the tank is still spotted by you and the outline is still visible, during which you can aim a shot and fire. And then, since you are more than 15 meters away from the bush when you fire, the enemy tank will not spot you. So, if I can have everyone line up with me in a line facing the south spawn. east to west line. Okay, so now I'm going to demonstrate for the red team this technique that we just talked about. So, concealing myself in a bush, pulling back, and firing. So, if one of you could tell me when I'm unspotted.
Pull back. You're now unspotted. No, you're still spotted.
I see him. Okay, he's unspotted.
Now you're unspotted.
Okay, so right now I'm unspotted. However, if I fire my gun from this position, and I can see through the bush that is concealing me, so I believe that I have just become spotted.
Yes.
Affirmative.
Right. Did you fire?
I did, yes. So now, if I am unspotted now,
You are.
Correct.
alright. So now I've pulled back so that the bush is currently opaque. I'm going to fire
User
another
joined your
shot.
channel.
I
So
can
there's
see
the
you.
shot.
Yeah, I see you.
Did not get your outline, but I did get you.
You did light up on the minimap.
Okay.
It's probably just the angle.
User left your channel.
Let's try this one more time. Alright. So I assume I am unspotted again.
You are.
Alright.
And now you are spotted again.
Try shooting in the ground.
Are there perhaps some people that are have got advantage where when you shoot, they see above the bushes?
I don't think so.
No, he's pretty well behind the rock.
Yeah, something is not breaking line of sight, so yeah.
Now you're fully visible along with your silhouette.
Okay, we're gonna try a different set of bushes.
You're gone.
You've reset spotting time.
Okay, so I'm gonna try firing again, and we'll see if this works this time. Am I spotted?
Nope.
You are not spotted by the opposing team.
Okay. Okay. So, as you can see, firing from a concealment position will prevent me from being spotted. So, 15 meters back from the bush, I become not visible. I'm guessing it was just a little quirk of that terrain. So, if I can get a volunteer from I guess for me it's the red team. So the team that spawns south.
Affirmative. I'm moving forward.
Alright. So, Colt, I'd like you to, just so that my team can see what was going on, I'd like you to do sort of the same thing that I just did. So, pull up to where the bush is opaque, pull up to where it is transparent.
You should have me spotted at this point.
Yeah, you're not spotted
Okay,
now.
you just unspotted.
You pushed over a tree.
The tree was a small hint, though.
So now, if you will fire a shot from where the bush is transparent.
Yeah, you were spotted.
So for my team, as we can see, he becomes visible. Now he's unspotted again. So if you'll pull back until the bush is opaque, and then fire through it.
Did not get spotted.
Spotted or not spotted at this point?
You are not spotted.
Not spotted.
Firing again.
Still not spotted.
Still unspotted.
Hey, why don't you try going where Karma was, and see if it works for you, just for shits and giggles.
You're spotted.
Hold on, you aren't unspotted yet. Okay, now you're unspotted.
I just fired.
Nope, didn't spot you.
Okay, you are still unspotted.
I think I know what the problem
Spotted now.
was. At least from my vantage point, and I'm sure there's, since there's a red tank
User
right
joined
beside
your
me,
channel.
in between two bushes, there's a small little hole. And at one point, I was able to see Colt's, like the very, very bottom of his track. And I think that's probably what it was, is that a very smidgen, small piece of your tank was visible, like through a spot like that. And that's why we were able to see you.
That would make sense.
Okay.
Okay, so now that you have all seen it demonstrated, we're going to let all of you try it. So we'll start with the the team that is not mine, concealing itself first. So everyone on Colt's team, head to that sort of hedgerow over there, find a nice spot in it. My team, we're going to stay here. We're going to be targets for them. So, the way this is going to work is I will tell you once you are all concealed, and then you will attempt to fire towards us. So, either above our tanks or at the ground near us. You don't want to hit us this time. So you will attempt to fire without us spotting you.
Let's fire in order. Karma first.
Hold on. Trini, you are still spotted, and Panzerbill, you are still spotted. So if you don't mind finding slightly different bush positions.
Am I still spotted? Because I was just moving when you said that.
Okay, you're unspotted now. See about Trini in a second.
I can see his track through this hole.
Okay. Sorry, Trini, I think you're gonna have to find a slightly different position.
Oops. Sorry.
Still nothing.
Yeah, you're still spotted.
What is this? I already did this with you, Quixotic.
Yeah, I remember that. So actually, if you wanna just watch the practice, that's fine as well. Alright, So Colt, since you can see where all of your team members are, I will have you give the firing orders.
Affirmative. Let's start with Karma.
And we're remain invisible this time, correct?
That's the goal. Yes.
Hearing just lit up.
Potato popped out.
I fired.
Affirmative.
Okay, you are unseen.
Potato. Are you is Potato unspotted at this point?
No,
Potato
he's-
is currently spotted.
We will skip Potato and go for Krampus.
I just fired.
Yeah, we see.
Spotted you.
We see Alpha. Still see Potato.
There's a hole in the bush right in front of me.
Still see the Alpha. You fired again, didn't you?
Everybody's spotted or unspotted now, red team.
Currently, Potato, Alpha, and Trinomafia are spotted.
Okay, those are not good bushes to hide behind. Pull back.
Maybe if we were closer together on this side.
Yeah, let's have my team back up about 100 more meters. We might be just a hair too close for this to work. So, line up with me again.
So many red tanks to shoot at.
We still see you, Potato. You're the only one that we can see right now.
Okay, well, Potato
Okay.
works on getting hid. Let's move on to I Kill You. Fire,
I'm not on
please.
your team. I'm not on your team.
Fired.
I kill you.
I Kill You for fun.
Yeah, he spotted. When you fired, you got spotted.
So you probably need to be back a little bit further. I Kill You for fun. There you go. Once I Kill You has come out from under spot, he'll try again.
Okay, he's
He's
spotted.
unspotted.
Fired.
Okay. We saw the impact, but we don't see you.
Panzer Bill, you're next.
Was I spotted? Because all I did was move back.
No, you're still unspotted.
All right, here I go. I just fired.
Yeah, you're spotted.
Yep,
You're
I was
spotted. So you
You
might
need
need
to
to
pull
pull
back
back a little bit
now.
further.
Man, these bushes are really, really fickle.
Yep.
All right,
Yeah,
am I
Potato,
spotted?
tell you, you're not spotted.
Yes.
Neither are you.
Oh, you know what it is? Hold on. Yeah, because you guys are such a wide line, I'm going to be spotted again.
The bushes are relatively thick over here with multiple bushes. If you want to come over here, you might want to try it.
Was I spotted this time?
Nope. You are invisible.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of getting the distance behind the bushes appropriate. Because everybody we've moved back has been unspotted on their next try.
Funny, I got tanks that disappear, then they reappear in front of me.
Yeah, I just spotted him again. That's why.
Oh,
Odin's Orphan.
All right.
So you are
Alright.
unspotted, Odin's Orphan.
cool.
Good job. Is Potato still spotted?
No, he's not.
He has disappeared.
Okay,
6
Potato,
minutes.
let's give you a try.
Yeah, you get up. You spotted.
You are lit up, Potato.
I'm moving up to inspect the line here. Okay, Potato, probably the problem is those bushes don't go all the way to the ground. They're probably picking up your track yet.
Alright, so
Okay, who have we not tried yet? Alpha Charlie.
Panzerbill, you are hot miking.
Alpha, you're good.
Alpha is good. Anybody that I have missed calling their name to shoot? Trini Mafia. And Trini is not spotted. So, I think you all have the kind of idea of what we're looking at over here.
Yep. So, as you can see, it's remaining unspotted is just a matter of getting the distances correct. And then you'll be able to fire without the enemy tanks seeing you. And you will get accused of hacking occasionally. So, let's have my team now go to the bushes, and the red team come line up. Let's try and form a pretty tightly spaced line around me.
4 minute.
Go quick, so I got your spot.
Okay, I was just going to stay here.
Remember to stay out of the cap, guys.
And I have a question whenever it's appropriate.
Yep, go ahead.
I had seen a video, I think it was on one of Havoc's videos, that knocking down trees and getting behind the leaves of the trees also counts as the same as hiding behind a bush. So a lot of times what I do in situations like this, if there's like an opening, I'll just kind of angle it and then push the tree down, and it just kind of adds a little bit more. It depends on what kind of tree it is, but it seems like it's more effective most of the time.
It is helpful. I will admit that I have actually pushed trees down in 3 different directions and created a nest and hid in the middle of it. And it's quite effective.
Okay, I hate to cut off this discussion, but we've got about 2.5 minutes left. So, Colt, is everyone on my team unspotted?
Everybody appears to be unspotted at this time.
Alright, so we'll start with 2 times. You could take a shot. Alright, he is fired.
He is unspotted.
Alright, Vracus, if you could take a shot. He is fired.
He is unspotted.
Alright, Cashlin, you're next. He is fired.
Cashlin is unspotted.
Rocket. He is fired.
Rocket is unspotted.
Alright, General. I think that's you.
General, you are spotted.
Okay, so we'll let you reposition. Spanky, take a shot. He is fired.
Spanky is spotted.
Alright, so Spanky, I'm going to have you reposition as well. Blaine, take a shot.
Blaine is spotted.
Alright, so Blaine, reposition yourself. Jaeger Schnitzel. He is fired.
Jaeger Schnitzel is unspotted. All
Okay.
other spotted vehicles have now become unspotted.
Okay. So let's see.
Spanky,
Yep, Spanky. He's fired.
he's unspotted.
All right. I think Blaine,
Blaine is spotted.
General.
Now I'm gonna be.
You're
He's
taking my
fired.
spot, Blaine.
General is fired. Was he spotted?
General is not spotted.
Okay. So Blaine, let's try this one more time.
He's fired.
He is unspotted.
Okay. So that concludes this rather brief lesson on firing through bushes. As you can see, it's, again, very much a matter of distance and making sure that you are far enough back that you can fire safely. So this will be important for the next few lessons that we'll be doing, which will be focusing on passive scouting and active scouting. So, does anyone have any questions?
User joined your channel.
Yes, but I don't know how to form the questions. You spoke about spotting distance earlier. Potato said
Yes.
yes. That is the same as view range.
Yes.
Well, then what's okay? So is view range not the same as render range?
So there are three limits that you have. You have your spotting range, or view range, which is the number that your tank tells you that you can see. I want to say it's capped by 450.
I believe it's 440 actually.
Well,
440?
That's actually a myth, because with as far as the render range, right?
So let me get to that first. All right. So the number, you can use skills and consumables and equipment to increase your spotting distance or your view range, and you can actually increase the number to, I want to say 463 is the maximum actual number that you can get. However, because the maximum view range determined by the game is 450 or 440 meters, that is the furthest away that you will be able to spot targets. Now, the increased view range helps you when you are looking for camouflage targets that are close to 450 meters. So if there's a light tank at 430 meters and you have 460 meters of view range, then even though you're capped, even though you won't be able to spot targets further away than 440 meters, you'll have a better chance at spotting the target at 430 meters.
There's a YouTuber, OS Irish. He just like 2 weeks ago, he did a really great thing specifically on viewing mechanics, and I would highly recommend everyone watch that, because he goes into this with a map, draws it all out in order to explain all of it. It's so if you don't feel real sure about it, I think that would help out a lot.
User in your channel timed out.
Yep. So do both of those ideas make sense so far? Does anyone have any questions about those two? Okay. So now we have the render range, which is, I believe, a 500 by 500 meter square. And that is the region in which tanks will be rendered. So, if you have a tank that is 490 meters away from you, it is in your render range. So someone else has spotted it, but you can still see it and you can still fire at it. However, if that spotted tank is at 510 meters, or is outside that box, then
User entered
you
your
will
channel.
be unable to see the target.
Something else is a quick note to add. Remember, that's a 500 by 500 meter square. It's not a circle. So at the corners, you can actually see targets farther out than 500 meters, but basically at any of the sides, at the center of any of the sides, which would be the closest distance-wise to you, is 500 meters. But at the corners, it's a little bit more than that. It's closer to 6. But generally, you don't spot targets out that far, so just a word of note.
No, Cashland render range
User in your channel
is
timed out.
determined. It's set in the game. What the radio does is the radio determines what tanks spotted by your friendlies will appear on the
User
map,
entered your channel.
and then if those spotted tanks are within the render range, they will be rendered.
Also, your allied vehicle locations, correct?
Yes. So what happens is any vehicle that is not in radio contact with you, and I'm not entirely certain how the radio mechanics work, so I can look into that as well. But any vehicle that is not in radio contact with you, you will not be able to see their position on the map. You will not be able to see the tank if they are within your render range and not in radio contact. And you will not be able to see any targets that they spot, either on the map or in the game itself.
That's cool.
So, does anyone have any more questions?
Not a question. I just added a note that radios are important. Most people discount getting radios, but the better radios you have in a team, the more information from all the way across the map you can get.
More range.
Because each radio acts as a relay station, so a guy that's well outside of your radio range could spot something, and you would get that information on your mini-map, because there are other tanks in between you and him that are within your radio range. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's why sometimes you'll see when a tank dies, you'll see the other tank, even though there's another tank nearby that's on your team. You'll see that tank's icon on the mini-map go to fuzzy or not clear because the other tank that's there does not have a good radio. So that information can't get back to you.
Excellent point. So, are there any further questions? Alright, I will take that as a no, and here's the training code in the training room TeamSpeak channel.